President Trump just made Trey Gowdy the most powerful man on Capitol Hill. For 5 years, Trey Gowdy asked the Oval Office for the tools necessary to do his job properly, and for 5 years he was told no by the Obama administration. One of the most difficult parts of Trey Gowdy's job as congressional inquisitor is security clearance. When investigating people who held titles like Secretary of State and Special Aide to the President, or even President, Gowdy runs into the issue of security clearance all the time. It's a matter of national security has become a term Mr. Gowdy hears far too often. It is the single best excuse Hillary Clinton and her lawyers have been able to come up with when they don't have an actual answer to his questions. President Trump has just removed that blockade by executive order. Trey Gowdy has been given the highest security clearance possible. He could now sit in on presidential intel briefings if he felt he needed to. The first thing Gowdy did with his newfound ability to investigate is to reopen the Benghazi case. There was a 6-hour window that Clinton never answered for because she said she was in a meeting with the president and Joint Chiefs that were highly classified. Gowdy will begin his investigation by revisiting those discussions and finding out exactly why 4 men were left to die. Next, with his newfound freedom of information, he'll look into just how far Obama went when he sent weapons and cash to the Muslim Brotherhood after they took Egypt by force. Nothing about this wonderful new power is going to be good for Obama, Clinton, or any other Democrat that thinks they're above the law. Very good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Ingram Angle Special Gratitude in the Age of Trump. And for better and sometimes for worse, let's face it, talking politics at the Thanksgiving table is practically as much of a tradition as the turkey and the pumpkin pie, the mashed potatoes, the gravy. But it's giving many of us some serious heartburn because according to a new poll from NPR and Marist, 58% of Americans say they are positively dreading the prospect of discussing politics during Thanksgiving. That's up 5 points from last year during the aftermath of the election. And 31% say they're eager to do so tomorrow, but that's a 12-point plunge from last year. Joining us now to analyze 2 of my favorite people, not just favorite colleagues, but favorite people here at Fox, Shannon Bream, of course, the anchor of the brand new 11 p.m. show on Fox, and Brett Baer, who is wisely already in the balmy weather of Naples, Florida. Brett, I'm so jealous here in Naples already. And I'm sitting in your chair, Brett. I feel nice. Inadequate sitting in this chair because this is your chair, really, but I'm just keeping it warm till you come back. It's great to see both of you. All right, Brett, I want to start with you. Now, Trump is controversial. The divide in the country seems like it's worse than it's been ever before, but I don't know if that's even the case. How do you avoid this maelstrom at the table? What do you do?
Well, I think it's a good question because I think you have to be prepared at the beginning. You have to go in and say you have other topics to talk about, entertainment, sports, the kids, other things. I say stay away from LeVar Ball, The Wall, Roy Moore at all. I think those 3 things that rhyme, you just stay away from them. But if it goes south, get to the place where you listen more than you get heated. You listen. And then you react calmly. And
maybe, Brett, when you're listening, you just chew, and you make sure you have a big mouthful of food, and you're just chewing and nodding. You know, it's like you have a lot of fights with family fights about other subjects. And Shannon, when sometimes husbands will say, "I'll just say yes, dear, yes, dear." They don't go back. They don't go back. But it is a little thorny because, like a lot of families I know, and certainly in my family, we have some polar opposite views in my family. Like some of my brothers are different politically than I am, and we just don't talk about it. We talk about anything but. You want to play a game of tic-tac-toe.
Right.
It's uncomfortable.
Listen, I'll be with the in-laws this year, the Breams, and they do like to talk politics. There are a lot of Fox watchers in there. So
thank God. Lucky you.
Listen, I know, exactly. But the tricky thing is they want to talk shop the whole time. And when you're away from work, you want to take it easy, play the tic-tac-toe, stuff your face with stuffing. But they have a lot of questions. And I find that what I end up doing is separating a lot of fact from fiction, because they'll hear a story or see something on Facebook, and I'm sort of now deputized as the fake news buster during these Thanksgiving meals and get-togethers, because they want to know what's actually been said or not said. I think one of the good strategies, I like Brett's, but I think also something I read that made sense to me, instead of talking about personalities like President Trump, like, Hillary Clinton, whoever, if you talk ideas or policies, that seems to work better for a lot of families instead of getting into the personalities, which seems to immediately put people on one side or the other.
Now, Brett, when you're down in Florida, Naples has there are a lot of Fox fans in Naples, let's face it. It's it's a wonderful place. They love you down there. But it is true what Shannon said. When you want to get away, I know you're a big golfer, you're a big athlete, you want to be with your kids, your beautiful sons and wife, but you want to kind of get away, but you are pulled back into it, right? You just think you're on the golf course, 7th hole, got that perfect tee shot, and then you're, well, what do you think about this, Brett? And what do you do?
It happens all the time. I know it happens to you guys, too. I mean, I was at the grocery store the other day. Somebody stopped and talked to me about tax reform. And, I would say, how's the pineapple? So I think that, listen, when you're talking politics, I do think Shannon's right. To do broad topics and start with the ones that a lot of the different ideologies agree on. Let's say corporate taxes, killing ISIS, figuring out a situation in North Korea. Those are 3 good ones where most left and right kind of agree.
Now, I want to ask both of you your favorite Thanksgiving memories growing up. And I was saying this on the radio earlier today that, it's never about stuff or presents. For me, it's always about food, music that my mother used to play. She's Polish, so she always played in this little record player we had. She played Polish Christmas carols that I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh, God, can't we hear something else? But now I get teared up when I hear some of that music today. And it's the smells of Thanksgiving and just being together. Brett, what's one of your favorite memories of growing up, Thanksgiving, just being with the family?
So 2 things. One is my mom grew up having turnips, and I can't stand turnips.
The worst.
But every year we just made them, and they just sat there, and it was just my mom who ate them. But it was part of the tradition. And then the wishbone at the end, pulling it apart, and which person got the bigger part of the bone was got the wish to come true, and I remember that every year.
Shannon?
You know what? I think that Brett's mom should join the Breams because they like turnips also.
What is
That's
it
an
about
acquired
turnip?
taste. I don't know what the deal is, but they like it too.
They have no taste.
I know, but
bitter.
heavily salted. You try to drown the actual turnip taste. I don't know. They have the taste. I don't. I will say my dad loved frying turkeys. So, you get the vat of the bubbling hot oil, and they do the demonstrations every year, like, don't do this, you'll burn down your whole house and kill everybody.
Yeah.
My dad loved the danger of making the turkey that way. So I always think about that. He also liked fireworks and blowing stuff up and everything. So I think the fried turkey was just part of it.
Now, Brett, do you cook the turkey, or you go out to dinner? You get someone else?
We have officially gone to the going out and having somebody else do the dishes. But I do miss the cooking thing that everybody stands around and cooks. But we have not done it for a number of years.
Well, I think the what I like to hear about is like the brining. People calling in today about we do turkey over an open spit where they're like really rotating the turkey. I mean, this turns into like a virtual Olympic sport at this point. It's
an all-day project.
It's fun. Most thankful for this time of year.
Honestly, I'm a person of faith, and even through some tough times this year, just that I think God is good.
Yeah, God is good. Brett?
Yeah, I think health and the big guy upstairs looking down on us all, and no matter how bad you think things are going to be, we are all resilient, and we should be thankful for that.
And ask for help. Ask for God's help. That's what I do every day. Lord knows I can't do it by myself. But I'm grateful for both of you. Thank you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families, and thanks for everything you do to keep the Fox viewers informed and sometimes entertained.
Major scandal in Washington, D.C. Attorney General Jeff Sessions caught obstructing POTUS by Margaret Potts for USA Politics Today. FBI informant William D. Campbell revealed that he has proof that connects former Secretary of State and President Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama to the scandalous Uranium One deal. Freedom Daily reported that during testimony last week, Sessions tried to suggest there was no connection between Uranium One and the nuclear bribery case. He argued that the criminal charges weren't filed until 2014, while the Committee of Foreign Investment in the United States, CFIUS, approval of the Uranium One sale occurred in October 2010, the Hill reports. For instance, both Attorney General Jeff Sessions in testimony last week and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein in a letter to the Senate last month tried to suggest there was no connection between Uranium One and the nuclear bribery case. Their argument was that the criminal charges weren't filed until 2014, while the Committee of Foreign Investments in the United States, CFIUS, approval of the Uranium One sale occurred in October of 2010. The way I understand that matter is that the case in which Mr. Mikarin was convicted was not connected to CFIUS problem, the CFIUS problem that occurred 2 to 3 years before. Sessions testified to the House Judiciary Committee last week, echoing Rosenstein's letter from a few weeks earlier. But an investigative records show FBI counterintelligence recorded the first illicit payment in the bribery/kickback scheme in November of 2009, a year before the CFIUS approval. Sessions testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee, and he said President Donald Trump warned Jeff Sessions and the whole Department of Justice, saying that unless the Attorney General does not decide to prosecute Clinton, he will be forced to step in and take drastic measures. On this, Trump told the reporters. A lot of people are disappointed in the Justice Department, including me. He also wrote on Twitter after the revelation of Donna Brazile that Clinton's campaign was controlling DNC operations and fundraising before she won the primary. This is real collusion and dishonesty, major violation of campaign finance laws and money laundering. Where is our Justice Department? People are angry. At some point, the Justice Department and the FBI must do what is right and proper. The American public deserves it. The saddest thing is, because I'm the President of the United States, I'm not supposed to be involved in the Justice Department. I'm not supposed to be involved in the FBI. I'm not supposed to be doing the kinds of things I would love to be doing, and I'm very frustrated by it. These are some of the many things Trump said regarding the criminal deeds of Clinton and the passiveness of Jeff Sessions. Listen, they're all corrupt. Jeff Sessions and Rosenstein and McCabe and all of them, Mueller, they're all involved in this. How you expect prosecutions to come? When what's Chuck Grassley going to do? Like you know what I'm saying? It's like enough is enough already. He's saying that, no, that has nothing to do with the other. I mean, where's the Justice Department is right to tell him, excuse me, it has everything to do with it. Not let him get away with this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And